sitting with me and Rob. We welcome Ron Campbell. Thank you very much for joining us. You know, we actually met you at Tom McEwen's house when we won the Stanley Cup.
Yes, we were there. We with Brad Richards on the dock. Remember the boat that came by?
That was the first place the cup came after we came back. From the award show. Yeah, I remember.
Wasn't that cool? We were there. We interviewed
him. And
yourself.
We interviewed.
You should have pulled that. You know, Piotrowski. We got to think of that next time.
No, I was 3 months away just after I gave birth to my son.
Okay, can we talk about
and
Ron
so
Campbell
I don't want
instead
to
of
see that
Sherer?
footage.
It's all right.
I didn't want to see that
doing?
footage.
He's
well. He's almost 4 now. But you know, that's a big year for you.
Oh, absolutely.
While we're talking about it.
You know, it's one of those things that, you know, as we go the year after, well, obviously we didn't play hockey, but the last couple seasons, well, are you going to win this year? And
how much do you think that affected, I'm sorry, the Tampa Bay Lightning? Because you came off this huge high.
Well, I think that as far as what, how we got our fans and so involved, and emotionally charged, and really what hurt us the most was the new rules didn't allow us to bring back the team that won the cup. So we never really got to
team
defend
back
because the new rules, because we put a salary cap in,
right.
like Hobby Bullen, our goaltender, which plays an important role on most hockey teams. Yeah, and so he left because if we would have kept that team together, it would have been over $54 million, and the cap was only 39. So just because players came off great
Didn't
years, won the cup.
Retire that year too?
Well, he came back, and then he retired about 4 weeks or 4 months into the season. But.
Well, talk about that year real quick, because I've been living in Tampa my whole life pretty much, and I've watched the Bucks go from nothing to winning a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. I've watched the Lightning go from nothing to winning a Stanley Cup.
Not having any hockey in the area to it being brought to us, to it being sort of, trucking along, and then boom, you hit the big one, and now it's like, all right, we got to get it back. This year we got to do it, and we're in rebuild, and, what now?
Well, it's a process, and one of the things that we came to town, this ownership group came to town in 1999, and what we wanted was just some patience. We knew the team was green. It wasn't developed yet. We had some stars in the making, Vinny LeCavier and Brad Richards coming up and that type of thing. And we just knew, give us some time, and we would make this a franchise that the town would be very proud of. And so, but it just takes time. Everyone wants to push the button too fast, and so we, the core matured. We got a guy like X Factor, like Marty St. Louis, that we picked up that turned out to be pretty good, and
pretty good.
Turned out not to be that bad.
And actually, I mean, you talk. I mean, this is a marketing show. I mean, we went virtually from a worst to first scenario. I mean, it took 2 years, but we were a bottom team. We made the playoffs the next year, then went all the way to the Cup. And basically what you've done is you spoiled your fan base. You think it's easy. You can win at any time. Right. And sometimes I was mentioning before off the air, I was with the Detroit Pistons, and we had a climb in the 80s where for like 3 years, 4 years in a row, you got your heart broken. And what you did, I mean, Larry stole the ball, and then the Lakers beat us, and we had a game 1 and game 6 in the finals. And what that did was that built, because of the heartbreak, it created fans for life
and passion
and that type of thing. And people always remember not only the day that you won, but they also those days that you had heartbreak.
That missed field goal, that missed basket. It's 1 minute to go.
As long as you get there to the top. I mean, if you never got there, then you suck.
Then you know what?
Yeah. But as long as you can follow it up with a win, they remember it forever. They remember watching Isaiah Thomas grow. They remember watching Vinny LeCavier grow. As long as you get there, and that's, I wouldn't trade it for anything. But if we could have, if we would have lost that year and you would have come back the next year, the way it worked out because of the new rules, we would never have brought the same team back. Right. So we're glad we got the ring, and I should have brought a ring.
You should have.
I know.
The Stanley Cup. No. So. But some of your marketing, let's discuss a little bit of the marketing that you guys are working on here, and it is something like 4-4, and I'm acting like that, but tell us a little bit about the 4-4 thing.
We're talking 4 years with playoff cheers, and basically there is 4 happens to be Vinny LeCavier's number, so you're kind of a little bit of a play on that as well. But there is only 3 teams in the National Hockey League that has a longer run of making the playoffs, and what happens is, again, everyone thinks it's easy. 16 out of 30 teams. Yeah, but we're very proud of the fact that we are a team of excellence. We're an organization of excellence. Our parent company is the Detroit Pistons, and they've been in the conference finals 5 years in a row. And we're proud of that, and we just want to keep reminding people, don't get spoiled. I mean, that is something that you all should be proud of as well. And we have an owner who wants to win and wants to keep putting the best players on the ice and give everyone the best chance. Yeah. But don't get lost. It's not that easy of an accomplishment.
It's not.
No, I don't think we all look at it as an accomplishment. What we do is I think we look at it as what an incredible opportunity to build the fan base that you were saying, to build loyalty, passion for the players on the ice and for the whole administration of the Lightning, because everybody plays a role in that. It's not always just the goalie.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's how it's managed, it's how it's brought, it's how it's marketed, it's how it's presented to people. It's the whole shooting match.
Well, what you want is everyone involved to be emotionally tied, and you want them, when they touch it, to have a great experience. And so, that's what we try to do. Things like we're going to put more money into the building this year, ideally a new scoreboard, new LED lights, and because people, when they come there, we that's part of the experience that they'll take away, and they'll see Vinny up close and personal with those new bright lights.
High resolution.
Exactly. and that's the type of thing that, from a marketing point of view, well, we can't always control the wins or losses, but we can control the experience, and that's what we try to do.
That's wonderful.
I think the experience is awesome when you go there. First, you have the patio area or whatever it's called.
The plaza.
The plaza. I think that's awesome.
The Price or Cheap Plaza.
Yeah, it is.
Throw it into the sponsor.
How did you, coming from a basketball background with the Pistons, how did you land the president of the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Well,
did you always want to be some sort of a professional player, or?
I was actually a bean counter by trade. I'm a CPA guy, and I left Touche Ross, started work for Bill Davidson in his flagship company, which is a glass company, Guardian Industries.
Okay.
And so that's where he's, makes.
That's where he made his money to buy the other franchises.
And he bought the Lightning bought the Pistons, in 1974. So we owned them for a while. I slid over there. I joined him in 1980 when I knew he had this professional sports team on the side.
Uh-huh.
And by chance, 3 years later, I was asked to become the CFO of the Pistons. So, but back then there was like 20 people in the front office. It was low budget. It was before Michael Jordan
right.
came on the scene and that type of thing, and the NBA took off. But from that, I started working with the Pistons, built the Palace of Auburn Hills. We bought a couple of amphitheaters outside there, and then in '99 we came. Bill Davidson saw an opportunity to buy the Lightning. It actually was from a Sports Illustrated article that said the worst run franchise in all of sports. It was the Tampa Bay Lightning. And
until you guys took over.
Well, we hope it's gotten a little bit better. But
yes, I think so.
You started way back in the early 80s. How has, with the advent of the internet and web and all that stuff, how has that affected or changed the way you guys market or just getting to know the players?
It obviously, it is something, it's such a, the whole technology craze. First of all, go back to something simple like email. Now, our lives are not our own lives. Someone can find you at all times, and if you don't respond right away,
they get upset.
Yeah, they get upset. But that's digital media and everything else like that. That's the new wave. And in the National Hockey League, it's something that we're going through a phase where we don't have the broad appeal right now. And it's all through internet, all through digital type of media is where we're really pushing things, because hockey fans, they're the most loyal of all sports fans. And
they're nuts about it.
Yeah, and so they will find their hockey any way, shape, or they can. Obviously, our battle is to get those casual fans.
Right,
so that's what we're battling.
And you also want to get bodies into the arena. And you want to get ticket sales. You want to sell concession. You want to get people amped about the sport, and keep them and have them amp other people about it. And it's, the popularity of it in an area where you think like, well, why would Florida, Tampa Bay have a hockey team? You know what I'm saying?
Not too many kids grew up going out in the backyard skating on the ponds.
No. That's it. So it's great. So the whole sport kind of is transplanted in a sense, you know what I mean, from the players to everything, and it's been an successful, incredible run that you've had in helping reorganize it and redevelop it and bring it to where it is today, so we can all sit down and say our national championship, our Stanley Cup winnings. What's that?
Our Stanley
Cup champions, and what an incredible honor, and what an incredible opportunity to have you on the show and talk a little bit about it. And
you do have to, being 4 times in the postseason, you need to win the Stanley Cup again next year.
See,
no
like
pressure.
I said, no pressure.
No pressure at all.
The way, and my boss said it, if everyone took their turn, you'd win 3 of these every
10 years
century.
or
every
century. Is that what
it
is?
There's 30
30 games or 30 teams.
Yeah, so it's not going to happen. ideally, we got a great core, and we plan on being back very soon.
And you've got everybody coming back, right?
We do.
All right. Get us some season tickets. How can people get season tickets?
Well, you can call me, my home number, because
call Ron, and it's 555 free tickets.
301-6500. 301-6500. Here, 813 if you're outside of the area code. But
and your website is?
TampaBayLightning.com.